Hello everybody, today we're going to be talking about something that I felt so passionately about as a child, but was just a forgotten memory until earlier this morning when I was just laying in bed. Big Bad Beetleborgs. Big Bad Beetleborgs. So it turns out that Beetleborgs was a series from Sedan Entertainment and was co-produced by Renaissance Atlantic Films, Toei Company, and Bug Boy Productions. It aired for 2 seasons on Fox Kids from September 7th, 1996 to March 2nd, 1998, which explains why it was so easily forgotten. Set in the fictional town of Charterville, 3 typical average kids, 2 siblings, Andrew, Drew McCormick, his little sister Jo, Josephine McCormick, and their best friend Roland Williams enter the supposedly haunted Hillhurst mansion. But then the kids accidentally bump a pipe organ, releasing a ghost named Flabber. He proves to be friendly and in return for releasing him, offers to grant them one wish, to become their comic book heroes, the Beetleborgs. However, this also causes the Beetleborgs' sworn enemies to come back to life as well. Then I remembered that as a little kid I had this VHS tape of the Beetleborgs. That's how I remember the theme song. Since I no longer have like a VHS player or anything that would be able to play a VHS tape, I had to go searching online for it.
Boo!
I know. Cut me some slack, guys.
You suck!
I don't know where to find a VHS player. So without further ado, I give you the Big Bad Beetleborgs and Curse of the Shadowborg.
3 typical average kids inside a haunted mansion. Just by chance, freed a ghost who made them Beetleborgs. Big Bad Beetleborgs. Big Bad Beetleborgs. Hey, look now, they're superheroes armed with superpowers. Taken from a comic strip and now they're Beetleborgs. Big Bad.
I love the parts in the theme song where the monsters just keep popping up and they're just screaming Beetleborgs at you just to double check that you're watching Beetleborgs, you know what I mean? Like the entire theme song is just like shouting Big Bad Beetleborgs, and then the monsters pop them. They're like, "Hey, who invited you here?" But yeah, he proved my point. So you have Drew, Joan, Roland, Flabber, aka Jay Leno, and the rest of the monsters. So 3 kids met a ghost that gave them bug-based Power Ranger powers. This is different than I remember, but I'm invested. Let's continue. We begin the movie with a shot of the town's name and fireballs going berserk, which turn out how to be how the villains get around. Apparently it's better for the environment. Apparently. So right away we get right into the action, which is like amazing. Just look at the choreography of these roles. Spectacular. There's a bunch of cheesy dialogue and fight moves when there's no real danger. They're kind of just standing there, talking, and doing like punching moves. So after causing like some pretty sweet light shows, the enemy just kind of jumps through, rips off a piece of his armor, and it's just like, we got what we're coming for. Peace. And then they're just standing there like, what's happening?
Damage. I don't get it.
Me neither. Why would they want a piece of your armor?
No idea. We better go see Flabber. Maybe he can fix it.
Our heroes run to tell Flabber, you remember, Jay Leno, what had just happened on the battlefield. But upon arriving to the haunted house, all the monsters are arguing and freaking out about various weapons, and at one point even threaten the children.
That's right, kidlets, and I'm gonna test mine out on you.
Then out of left field comes Frankie trying to hack and slash Joe like American Psycho. Flabber appears and tells Frankie,
I told you no target practice in the house.
which raises a lot of questions. Then they explain,
We've got an intruder.
And we're going to get him.
then all the monsters just start going into some really gruesome detail about exactly what they're going to do to the intruder as soon as they find him, which is like the most acceptable thing to tell these little children.
And Wolfie can have the bones.
So immediately after explaining to them what they're gonna do to the intruder once they catch him, like they're all best friends, like they didn't just try to kill them,
Let me practice on these kids.
they immediately threaten the kids again. What the hell is that about?
Hang on there, fellas.
But then
Feeling
Flabber
lucky
steps
tonight?
in to
Bet you double
save
nothing I
the
can beat you
day
at your best game.
by using the kids as a wager in a poker game.
I haven't gambled in centuries. Count me in.
We're in two.
Great idea, Flabber.
So as Flabber's distracting all the monsters with his poker game, using, the little kids' lives as bait, the kids go to investigate around the house and whatnot, when all of a sudden the intruder comes crashing through the ceiling. This is Josh. His family just moved here, and Josh is kind of a dick,
This is my brother
especially
Drew
when
and
they
our
ask
great
him why
friend
he's at the mansion.
What are you doing in this house?
I could ask you the same thing.
Gonna be here,
After
that's
thinking
all.
about a lie
right.
on the spot,
This house is guarded by a special patrol.
I didn't see anyone.
they start to
Well,
sneak
I was
Josh
here
outside of
because
the
it's
mansion while all the monsters are having their poker game, which is probably like the best scene in the entire movie, honestly, so I'm gonna play the full clip of that.
Come on, let's play some cards here. I don't have all day, you know. Whose turn is it now?
It's yours, Mums.
Huh. Well, in that case, I'll see you 2 worms and raise you a cockroach.
Must have a good hand. Too rich for my blood.
So without even giving us time to settle from that poker scene or even the joke that they just told, they hit us with the exact same joke, which kind of takes away from the original.
I'll see you, Frankie. Get it?
I'm not sure they're getting the hang of this game.
So Flabber notices the kids and tries to distract the monsters with a card trick, which doesn't really go too well. But then we're hit with like some of the greatest comedy from the writers that we can get from the banters of the monsters.
Bigger? I can do that. Well, how about...
Oh, please. Boring.
Yeah, me too, guys.
Tough room.
This house is the
Cool
only
guy
game in Turkey,
Josh
except
is
for
like,
Zoom
this is
Comics.
the only cool
that's my
place in
dad's
this
store.
shitty town other than the
broke
comic
down my
book store
bike, it's
downtown,
sweet.
which is
on in sometime.
conveniently
I'll show you
Roland's
around.
family's
Maybe
comic
I
book
will.
store, so Roland tells him to stop
Gotta
by
go.
sometime.
See ya.
They say their goodbyes, and then Drew just keeps complaining about Josh some more.
That guy ruined everything. Your dad's expecting us to zoom, and I haven't even talked to Flabber about my armor.
Oh yeah, the armor piece. How could we forget about that?
Your wish is our demand. Here it is.
For once, you knuckleheads got something right. With this piece of Beetleborg armor, I can complete the weapon that will stop the Beetleborgs forever. An evil Beetleborg of my own.
A bad Beetleborg? That's cool.
Alright,
steal
we
their
figured out
power,
their
and they'll
plan,
never
and
send
as
us
our
back to the
Aqua Rock
comics.
Man thing says,
That's cool.
it is a pretty cool plan, and I'm invested. I just realized that for a couple of those clips I forgot to put my ring light on, so I do apologize for that. But we're back. After being reminded that there's kinda danger afoot, we find ourselves downtown at Zoom Comics, where we got Nana Roland and Papa Roland demanding child labor for some of Nana's.
Kick in the butt barbecue. Yeah!
Alright, so I'm really sorry to keep stopping like our video here for these little updates, but as I'm doing the video and recording, I'm doing research as well, and it turns out that Nana's Roland, like Roland's grandma over here, is the rapping grandma from America's Got Talent, which is like the craziest thing. I don't know why, but it's really blowing my mind right now.
Like Kobe on the court, ain't no stopping me.
Josh shows up to the store and immediately gets smacked in the face by an old comic and gets told to get out by Drew. Roland tells Drew it's cool. I told him to stop by. All while Josh is focusing on the older girl in the shop that hit him in the head with the comic book.
Old thing, get in there.
Mostly Silver Rays and Beetleborgs.
I love Beetleborgs.
Of course everyone's favorite comic is Beetleborgs. My favorite comic is Beetleborgs. Your favorite comic is Beetleborgs. Call your mama. I'm sure her favorite comic is Beetleborgs too.
Now that he's here, we can leave.
Drew keeps being rude and keeps trying to get the gang to leave, but they're all like, nah, man.
Why do we have to leave? Can't you go and come right back?
Fine.
Back at the enemy base, we're finally getting a little bit of insight of what's being done over there.
Keep it down, little head. At last, everything is in place. Yeah. It is time to begin the proceedings.
Moonman then materializes a workbench with magic powers, and then uses a TSA wand over a piece of armor that creates the ultimate Beetleborg weapon! Finally, Shadowborg is born. The henchmen start freaking out and run out of the room. Moonman comes out and just completely shits on the minions' lives.
A warrior worthy of serving me. Behold, Shadowborg.
At your service, my dastardly master.
Too cool.
Cool.
I'll teach him everything I know.
That'll take 2 seconds.
I also want to say shout out to the writers, because anytime something happens in the show and I'm sitting here thinking like a comment to myself about the situation that's happening, it's immediately like the next thing that they put into the show for dialogue or anything like that. Shadow then sets off to destroy Flabber, who's currently helping Drew fix his suit.
That Josh guy's a complete and total loser. Can you believe his nerve?
Did he really just try to use a paperclip to fix this? Is that what's going on, Flabber? That's your solution, buddy? After telling Drew that's like basically all I can do, he just whips out some like Orochimaru type forbidden jutsu and transform a snake into armor plate. Why didn't you just do that to begin with?
No way!
Shadowborg shows up to what I'm pretty sure is an apple field because trees?
What is that thing?
This part right here really confused me because like his mission is to go out and destroy Flabber, but he's kind of just standing outside.
Menacingly!
Whoa.
Then he starts shooting the ground. Like, ooh, I'm so scared.
Flabber, get back! Hold it, Flabber. Better let me go out. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Wait, did Flabber just fart into the air? Oh my god. That's why they call him Flabber.
Nano, your barbecues give me the best reason yet to like Charterville.
Are you joshing with me, Josh?
Flabber then contacts Joe via soda can FaceTime after some of Nana's.
Kick in the butt barbecue. Yeah!
Joe is just like, whoa, this is pretty serious, and asks to leave. And they're like, yeah, sure, go ahead, you've were enough help. But then Roland tries asking.
Oh, let him go. Josh and Heather said they'll stick around.
Okay.
This just leaves Josh and what's her name at the comic book shop. Wait, did they really just dub a whisper? First of all, I don't even know why they would even dub the whisper. Second of all, the whisper is just unnecessary. Regardless, Josh wasn't invited, nor did he say that he was going to leave. So Josh is staying back to get some action Jackson. Drew and Shadow are squaring up on like an oil field now for some reason. What was the budget like for this? Why are they just filming in random locations?
But I'm a chip off the Beetleborg, or should I say armor.
So that's what Jar was up to. Well, it won't work.
But instead of fighting, they're just talking shit about the Duke It Out old Western style.
More powerful than you can imagine.
Oh no!
Shadow wins the duel and puts his gun away. Drew hops up, grabs his gun, and instead of shooting Shadow, just jumps up and starts hug punching me.
Who's blue fighting? I don't recognize him from the comics.
What's he gonna do with that monster weapon? Let's Borg!
Right.
Joe and Roland finally arrive on scene and transform into the Beetleborgs. Oh, and now it's time for the real excitement to begin.
gonna wish he stayed in bed.
Gotcha. What's wrong? Afraid I'll do the same to you?
What the f? The two backup Borgs get captured, and Drew unleashes his special power sword. And after one horrid failed attempt at saving Joe and Roland, it's just like freaking ridiculous. They just got captured.
It's no use. We can't move.
Shadow then steals their armor and makes it into like this neat little armor decor, which, by the way, the special effects so far are just great in respects to visual and
We didn't call
humorous.
for a backblast.
Borg again, quick!
Beetle binders.
I don't believe this. Why aren't they working?
Take a wild guess.
He's got our powers.
All hope seems lost for our hero, as like none of them can beat the Beetleborgs, but Drew's still up and fighting, so let's see if Drew can somehow take this out of his ass.
I'll get him back. Ha!
Now for blue. And this completes the set.
You won't get away with this.
Well, turns out all hope is lost because Drew's suit gets captured as well.
Someone
Shadow
tell me
just
what
dips
happened.
out.
This is bad. This is very, very bad.
Her powers are gone.
So we find ourselves back at Flabber's Flatulence facility, and the monsters are still just threatening the kids whenever they walk in. But they don't care, they kind of just like stomp on his feet and keep it trucking to go tell Flabber what had happened.
In my big mouth, and don't come back.
Right.
Your seat, my dear.
What are we gonna do about the Shadow Borg?
And our lost powers. Man, this is awful.
Have a cup of Flabber's fabulous formula. It'll make you feel a lot better.
After Flabber makes the kids some fart tea to restore their powers,
Present tense, please.
Try yours, Drew.
he sends the kids home while he uses his thinking cap to devise a plan on how to stop Shadow.
You go on home. Flabber will think of something.
On the way home, Drew sees his girl holding hands with Josh, which is just like a huge slap in the face to Drew at this point because he lost his suit, his friends lost his suit, he basically lost his powers other than Flabber's fart tea, and now Josh is walking home holding hands with his beloved older girl whose name I do not know because it was never said in the episode. I don't remember it stopping there. I remember a resolution. Okay, so I looked it up, and turns out the VHS tape that I owned as a kid was the complete saga of these 3 episodes of Shadow Borg. So, that only means one thing. We have to do all 3 episodes. So if you guys enjoyed the video and you want to see the next 2 that come out, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on. If you're a fan of gaming, check out my Twitch channel. It's going to be in the description below. Also, check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for funny memes and content to share with all your friends and family. If you want to see me review anything else, leave it down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, let me know why. If you didn't, let me know why. Let me know what I can change for you. That's it. I love you guys. Peace.